Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts series. You're looking at youtube.com right now because it has been a while since our last episode. In fact, that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. If we scroll down here, this came out on March 2nd, 2018. And it is hard to believe that it has been 7 months since I have put out an episode. I was covering some stuff from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross that had been shown so far, and at the time of recording, the last story update was all the way in September of last year. It has been 13 months, but there's finally a new story update. I didn't expect the break to be nearly as long, and it's quite shocking. My game plan was to basically cover Union Cross stuff until we got close to Kingdom Hearts 3's launch. Then I would do the remaining Kingdom Hearts content we had left, which was basically Kingdom Hearts 0.2, the prologue to the whole deal. And unfortunately, they didn't have anything for us. The people that work on the story updates for Union Cross are the people that work on the story for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is why there was such a gap and so much filler in general. So we are back now, and we're going to start this video, which is probably going to be short, but I'm going to do my best to try and, at the very least, make it entertaining and talk about the new morsels of story the Kingdom Hearts series now has as of today. Now, the story content that we're going to be talking about today builds off this scene here that we got a few years ago, so I wanted to talk about it and let you know what it was about. We talked about it a couple of episodes ago, where Maleficent is gloating and talking about the current situation, and how Sora and his friends cannot meddle in this world. Which means that this Maleficent is the modern Maleficent, the one that knows about everything but is also in the past, which led to a lot of confusion for a very long time of what is this world that she's in? What are her plans? What's actually going on? And they gave us no development on that, instead introducing characters like Ventus and Lauriam again. But now, we finally have some progression in this specific plot thread, which I'm happy about. Because I've just been wondering, what is Maleficent's plan? Is she going to do something successful? And we actually have a good idea of how all that's going to go with this brand new scene. She's not having a good time, all things considered. She's getting her ass handed to her. And then this mysterious character enters the fray. A dark figure that we can't see because Lord knows it has to be a mystery. He's like, that's something I can undo. I am darkness. Darkness, that's pretty vague. So apparently he can't show his form, though he could just be doing theatrics. It's at this point he gives up the ghost and talks about the entire scheme, where Maleficent was trying to gather the 7 pure hearts of light. And he's like, I don't know, do whatever. However, falsifying history should not be left to one as ignorant as you. One can travel back to the past in which one's previously existed. In order to do so, you must divide your body and heart at that time. Those are the rules for moving through time, so it's just a repeat of Dream Drop Distance. However, it is revealed here that you thought of doing this when you were stabbed by the Keyblade of the boy you thought you were controlling in Kingdom Hearts 1. Surprise! As it turns out, Master Xehanort in Birth by Sleep not only told her about the 7 princesses, but also the laws of time travel. So, when she was defeated in Kingdom Hearts 1, she used the opportunity to travel to the past to try and make her plan work again. And this guy's talking about how the Master knows, which I'm gonna go ahead and assume that would make, you know, I feel like the Master of Masters is involved here. But the problem here was the fact that, you know, Enchanted Dominion shouldn't really exist in the past yet, at least pre-Keyblade War. So as it turns out, this is all a trap. It's here they elaborate a little bit on this. Before the Keyblade War, the Keyblade wielders, they opened a book. And then they turned the page, they washed the hands. Look at all these worlds that we are familiar with. Defeated dark beings and gathered the light. in the worlds of future light described by the Book of Prophecies. Because as you know, the mobile game has you go through visions of the future. That's how the Disney worlds can exist in the mobile game. After the Keyblade War, the Master and the Foretellers disappeared. And the remnants of sadness from the Keyblade wielders left behind were written to be tales of vivid adventures. However, in a world without the Master of the Foretellers, one cannot draw out the worlds from the Book of Prophecies. Then we get some flashes of the various worlds there. The data of those worlds was created and fixed. She's like, yeah, I'm dancing. She's like, yeah, I'm walking. The unfinished parts are still included in those real worlds, too. That's why I said it was dull. That means this isn't the actual world, is it? Which, that's right, this world isn't above the world line of the real world. This is a data world in which the story has already been written. It is locked, so it cannot be overwritten either. He's like, you fear my power. She's been completely bamboozled once again. So you trapped me into a space that was separate from the real world. He's like, that's a good guess. You know, but what I feared was not your power. I feared your memories that know of the future. That's why, even in this data, I left out one of the worlds with the 7 pure hearts. Knowing what will happen in the future, I feared you would bring the events back with you and cause some trouble. Knowing about certain events, she could manipulate things and possibly, you know, cause trouble. Do you plan to keep me cooped up in this data world? That wouldn't be wise. You need to go back to the town where you came from. They don't want any temporal paradoxes or anything. She'll need to return and do everything she does in the other games. To which she says, but I can't cross. And he says there is a way, and that concludes the news story segment. And with that, we are done with the news story updates for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross for now. Of course, in previous episodes, I had covered months and months of story updates and trimmed them down and made them presentable for a nice full video where we kind of watch through it, react, and talk about it. But here, I'm doing a bit more of like a roundup type of thing after having already seen it, which I think works a little bit better. And it's an unfortunate side effect of it's been 13 months, we need an episode. However, we are going to chat a little bit about this because, of course, there have been developments. As it turns out, when Maleficent was struck down in Kingdom Hearts 1, she used the information that she totally got in Birth by Sleep and was totally intended to then say, oh, I could just travel back to the past, use all the knowledge I had of gathering the princesses, and then use it here and then get a better result. Open the door, take over Hollow Bastion, do all the things I had planned, and it'll work even better. And that is not what happened, because as it turns out, she was bamboozled by a mysterious man-person force known as Darkness, who is very likely, in my opinion, either Lushu or the Master of Masters. To be honest, I feel like it is probably the Master of Masters. That's kind of my prediction, but and has just been imprisoned in this data version of these worlds, and effectively can't really do anything. And a world has been taken out of it that has a Princess of Heart, so that she can't really do anything. She attempted to do what Master Xehanort has done throughout Dream Drop Distance and these other games of having this 4-dimensional chess-style plan, but unfortunately, because she's the Disney villain, she doesn't matter. Since she isn't the main antagonist, it's not going to work out. And now, she's going to have to make the journey back to her original time because everything needs to go just so, and because this links back to Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm sure she'll at least have a memory of this, or something is going to happen by the end that, in my opinion, is going to be her learning about the box. Because in Kingdom Hearts 3, if you've seen, she was speaking in the 2017 orchestra trailer with Hades saying, "We're looking for a mysterious box, maybe it's here on this world." And that definitely links back to the box that the Master of Masters gives to Lucio at the end of Kingdom Hearts Chi back cover. And it all comes together to show her main motivations. I think in a future update they will at least imply that, and we'll get that going. And to be honest, when they first announced they were going to do a story update to really push things forward, I was expecting something with Lauriam and Ventus and the other union leaders that they've been pushing. Was not expecting them to finally come back and show us what was happening with Maleficent, but it was a nice surprise and something I appreciated because I had been wondering what was going on with that. And I find her plans to be really interesting because I'd like to see her get some sort of success in Kingdom Hearts 3. Instead of being a comic relief almost villain that just never seems to come out on top or in a positive way. But that remains to be seen. At this point, I guess it'd be a good idea to talk about what's going on with my series in general moving forward, because of course, a lot of people have been asking about that over the past few months here, because we have had a long hiatus. So there are some things, and I'll lay them out here, of what I'm going to be covering. The only things I have not covered in the Kingdom Hearts series are the secret episode of Birth by Sleep, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2, which is the KH3 prologue game. And obviously, those two games are linked very much, and I'll be doing some stuff to make them extra special. I'll be covering all of that, and I plan on doing that in January. The reason being is, since it's a direct prologue to KH3, I feel like it makes a bit more sense to place it very close to the release of KH3, so we jump right into it. And then, of course, there'll be a couple of prelude videos talking about development and some other stuff, and I think that will be really, really cool. Until then, though, we are basically living and dying by these Kingdom Hearts Union Cross updates. If you want my honest take on some of the story developments and the stuff that we have gotten through the phone game in general, I think some of it's alright. Like, I enjoy the Master of Masters quite a bit. Lucio and the box seem interesting for now, until they start cracking some of that open and start answering questions. Questions in stories, a lot of the time when they're this vague and mysterious, can tend to be pretty interesting until the answer is given. And I trust that I'll probably like the answer, but you know, that remains to be seen. But for now, I'm very interested in where they're going to be going with pretty much all of this. And thankfully, since I don't have to actually play the game, I'm perfectly fine with these video things. I think at this point, I would like to point out that this new story update video was, I grabbed this from YouTuber Everglow, so credit goes to him. I will link his channel in the description, as well as the first episode of his Kingdom Hearts Timeline series, a absolutely spectacular series that stitches together the entire franchise's story together. And, you know, whenever there's like two stories happening at the same time throughout the series, they're weaved in masterfully. Some assets are made from scratch down to cutscenes to make it a really, really good thing, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it, so I'll link that there. Deserves a lot more recognition for that, and I'm happy to sing the praises, especially since I'm technically taking some content to make this video. So, of course, links to that will be in the description, but overall, I'm feeling pretty good. We're about 3 months away, 3.5 months away from Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out. We have more trailers, of course, that I will be reacting to as they come out, and story updates for this I will continue to put out as we get close to the release of Kingdom Hearts 3. Once we get really close to release, I'll stop doing them. I will eventually just get to the point where it's like, okay, once we're like, oh man, it's a week out from Kingdom Hearts 3, alright, it's time to start transitioning. We'll reach a point at some point in January where I'm going to be transitioning out of Union Cross and then going, alright, let's jump in to, let's jump into Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep secret episode, and then 0.2, some setup videos, and then KH3. I think one thing I'll probably end up doing is if there are any critical story stuff that will happen in Union Cross story-wise that would fit in to put before KH3, I'll just skip a numbering on my episodes. That way I can fill it in later. Which, you know, filling stuff in later is a Kingdom Hearts tradition. So I think that works out. Overall, this is a very short video, but I wanted to make it as soon as the story update came out to give you guys my overall thoughts, to show it to you, because it, you know, it came out yesterday and the translations just came out like an hour ago, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. Subscribe for more content like this, which will be a bit sporadic, but once we start closing in on January, oh, we are going insane with KH content. That's going to do it for this episode of the Kingdom Hearts series. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully they update this game again so I can talk to you soon.